Alright, so what we're going to be looking at now is we're going to be looking at algebraic expressions and how to simplify and how to solve these. And that's what we're going to be looking at in this lesson. So first things first is whenever we're trying to solve these, you've probably heard this before and you've probably done this without thinking about it, but there's kind of a rule in which you have to solve these. And the rule is, and very basic and very general, PEMDAS. You probably heard it as "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally," or something along that lines. And basically what it is that it's a way to help you remember the order in which you should do the simplifying and solving. And it goes parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Now, parentheses, basically what it is you do whatever is inside the parentheses first before you work on stuff outside the parentheses. So if you have to add things together, multiply things inside parentheses, you do that first and then you work out. So you do everything inside and then you work out. For the exponent, okay, for exponents, those again are, something with like a small number. So after you do your parentheses, then you jump into what the exponents are doing. So it'll be like 3 squared, you go 3 times 3. Okay. After that, multiplication and division, these are interchangeable, and same with addition and subtraction. And what you do is you go left to right. Okay, so it's like reading a book. So if you look at the problem, you're like, okay, it's all multiplication and division. You can start with the left, and you go, okay, the first one, I'm going to multiply. Next, divide, then I multiply, then I multiply, then I divide again. And you can go left to right. Or if you want, you can kind of pick and choose here and there. Addition and subtraction are the same thing. You can go left to right, or you can pick, okay, I'm going to do these two together because they're close. I'm going to do these two together because they're close, and then do the bigger ones. But again, for those multiplication, division, adding, and subtracting, those are interchangeable. You can do the other ones first. But you want to keep these pairings together. So like parentheses and exponent must be the first two. Multiplying and dividing are next, and then adding and subtracting are after that. Okay, so now solving an algebraic expression. So an algebraic expression is just it looks like an equation, but there's no equal sign. And so what we have here is that we have 3x minus 4y plus x minus y, and we know what the x and y are. X is 4, y is negative 2. So wherever there's an x, we're going to plug in a 4, and wherever there's a y, we're going to plug in a negative 2. Okay, and then from there, we're going to simplify it. So as you see here, it's plugged in. So we have 3 times 4 minus 4 times negative 2 plus 4 times 4 plus 4 minus negative 2. And as you see here, when you multiply and simplify, you multiply 3 times 4 gets you 12. Negative 4 times negative 2 is 8. Okay. Negative times a negative is a positive. So if you have two negatives and you multiply them together, it becomes a positive number. The 4 is all by itself, so it just drops through. And then as you see here, we have a negative, which we can treat as a negative 1, times negative 2 gets you 2. And then from there you can simplify it. So we've got 12 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 gets us 26. Okay. Pretty simple. So you just take the numbers, you plug them in, and then from there you simplify it through. So now looking at this one, wherever there's a c, we're going to plug in a negative 3. And wherever there's a d, we're going to plug in a 5. So from here, when we want to rewrite this, it would be negative 3 times 3, or parenthesis, 3 minus 5, close parenthesis, minus, and then in parentheses, negative 3 squared. Okay, so remember PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Stanley, we do parentheses first. So inside the parenthesis, 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So we have negative 2, and then we multiply that by negative 3, minus negative 3 squared. After parentheses, we do exponents. So exponents, so negative 3 squared is 9. So now we have negative 3 times negative 2 minus 9. After exponents, we have multiplication and division. So we multiply, which gets us 6 minus 9. And then we have adding and subtracting, negative 3. Okay. So as you see, you use PEMDAS to help us shrink this down into what the number is. Okay, and this is evaluating expressions, algebraic expressions. All right, so now some vocab here. Term. So whenever you hear the word term, term is the whole thing. So 3m to the 4th is the term. It's the whole thing that's being added or subtracted to something else. Okay, so 8x squared. That's a term. Okay. Now within a term, there's the variable, and there's the exponent, and there's the coefficient. The coefficient is the number. So in this case, 3 is the coefficient. Okay. That's the coefficient. The exponent is the other number, or that small number, the 4. That is your exponent. And then m is called your variable. Okay. So those are the 3 parts that make up a term. Now sometimes you might not see these. Usually it's denoted as 0 or 1. Okay. And that's what the variable or the exponent are. Okay. So that's what a term is and what an exponent is. So the exponent is that number that's out front of the variable. Okay, it's the big number. Now combining like terms. Now with combining like terms, you want to combine like variables and like exponents. Okay. Now these are not changing. Okay. So if you look here, we've got x squared, x squared, x squared. All those have x squared, so you can think, okay, all those are the same. We're going to put them all together. Well, how many do I have? I've got 2, then I'm taking away 4, and then I'm taking away another one. Okay. And then here we have our x's, all just 1 x each, and we've got 5 plus that. So what you want to do is you want to put all the variables are the same on one side and all the others on the other side, separate them, and then combine them from there. Okay. So now this next one, as we see here, we've got to do the parentheses first. Is there anything inside the parentheses we can combine? Well, no. R and S cannot be combined. They're not the same. They're different. So then after that, we're going to distribute the -2. So we're going to distribute the -2 into both parts. And then if you see here, that's a -1. So we're going to distribute a -1 into both parts. Okay. So you distribute it into both parts, and we end up getting -2r minus 2s minus 2r minus 2s. Now you want to put all the like terms together. So -2r minus 2r, -2s minus 2s. Combine them, gets you a -4, -s. And this is combining like terms and simplifying an expression. Okay. So combining like terms, pretty simple. All right, your IRAT. So what you're going to do here is, again, you're going to solve these, bring them into class, etc., and to see if we are understanding what we're doing. So the first one I want you to solve. So A is 3, B is -2, and C is 4. So combine or solve them. So you're going to take these and plug, wherever there's an A, you're going to plug a 3. Wherever there's a B, you're going to go -2. And wherever there's a C, you're going to plug in a 4. And then solve each separate one. So there's 2 here. So solve each of these. Make sure you use PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Your order of operations to solve this. And then the next one, simplify. So just combine like terms for these 2. Okay. So these again are 2 separate. All right. You're going to combine like terms, simplify, and see what you get. Okay. All right.